Hi, guys. We are here at Practical Defense Systems for another episode of the Open Mat Podcast. I am Cody the Sloth Lewis. We got Brad No Hips Bukovics over here, and we have a special guest today, Eric. Is it Viper? Are we going with Viper?
Viper.
Eric Viper Pozun, amateur MMA fighter out of Revolution. I believe we got a title fight coming up, right?
We do. May 18th. I'm fighting for the 155 amateur title against Elijah Humes from Three Elements.
Okay. So I think they're gonna have solid jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Three Elements, Brad?
I know, man. I haven't been in the local MMA scene forever and a day. Like, I remember watching. I think I fought on the same card as Chuck Schilling, so it was one of his last fights, and that was about it.
So
I'm old school.
that was like years ago.
Yeah,
Like-
Is that like decades ago?
literally decades. I'm old as shit. Yeah.
So Eric, you're not as old, right? How old are you, Eric?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah, 24.
So
That's when I started. 24, 25.
well, Eric's been going at it for a minute right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I started with like traditional martial arts when I was like 11 or 12, and then kind of transitioned over.
So you, was it Taekwondo?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I think your style was a real Taekwondo based. So let's talk about that. When did that start?
So I was like 11 years old. Yeah, I started with that. It was like a local school, and my parents put me in it because I didn't get bullied and stuff like that. Kind of have something to connect with and something to feel good about yourself. And I really started to like it, and I really did good at it. And I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, watching some of these fighters and the UFC. I'm like, well, I can do that. And you kind of just got to take a leap there and try it.
Now, so started with Taekwondo, and then 18, 19, you started kind of looking around for MMA stuff. Did you have friends, like, were some of your buddies already training? Is that what kind of got you in the door, or did you?
No, actually, I had one of my teacher. He used to watch the UFC fights in his basement. He would invite some of his students over. So
That's
just
awesome.
fights, right? Nothing weird.
Like, come on over, kids. We're gonna watch kids like.
well,
punch each other.
it sounds better, but they were like adults and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So like, we would go over there on a Saturday night. I think it was like, I don't know, UFC like 94 was the first one I watched, and like I don't know, it was you got into it that way, and then actually when I transitioned over, I lost all my friends from that.
Oh.
So they basically started over again. Yeah, it was kind of rough actually.
So that's an interesting concept I don't ever really think about when you go from like a traditional martial art and then kind of go into another thing. Were they like not happy with that choice? You
Yeah,
made?
they were really not happy with that at all, actually. Yeah, actually, like shun.
Yeah.
I mean, traditional martial arts kind of have a cultish aspect to them. So once you leave that, sometimes if the people don't come with you,
Yeah.
and for kind of dumb reasons.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't that way.
Now that you start to have success with the MMA and stuff like that, has any of them reached out back or no, or is it still kind of the?
No, I have two. I have my first teacher, Mike. He lives on Tiffin, so I don't get to see him anymore. That's way past Sandusky.
Yeah.
I see him once in a while, and I love it. And then my other friend, that's it. I got two. Two left.
And that's one of the hardest things I think. And we trained for years together.
Yeah.
And like I look at you as a teammate, and I always will. And the coolest thing about getting into something as grueling as MMA is you find a group of guys, and it makes that work-like atmosphere, but it makes it fun.
It's probably the best thing about it.
Yeah.
Really. Like it's an individual sport, but it's not. Like it's, there are days you don't want to come here, and you want to be like, I'm not really feeling it, but you see Cody, you see Brad, you see your friends, it makes it better. Yeah.
So, Brad, I was just thinking, like, when you two are next to each other, we have like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Like your hips don't work at all,
Yeah.
and his are probably really good.
He could kick you in the head pretty easily. I remember sparring, right? So like, I sucked at kickboxing terribly bad. Eric would just kick the shit out of me. Like, I think I had a kickboxing smoker, right? And the guy I was fighting was like a kicker. So I tried to go against Eric and just try to close the distance, try to box him up. I just didn't do that well.
That was like 5 years ago.
I know.
Think about that.
I know. Many
been
brain
that
cells
long.
ago, and 5 years ago, when I could actually probably do some shit like that. Now I can't. I'm too old.
Yeah, Brad.
there's a
Don't let
takedown
Brad.
involved,
Brad
get you.
always had solid boxing.
Now my boxing was good,
Yeah,
but
solid
like,
boxing.
my kicking was one level either higher or lower than Cody. I'm not sure. Fucking, it's terrible.
See, I don't know. Cody's was always the setup. It was either here, take my leg and take me down, or
Yeah,
if he landed it, he didn't know what to do.
that's
It was
true.
like a kid at Christmas.
It was terrible. It's terrible. So both of us have terrible boxing. I was just thinking like,
Terrible kickboxing.
what? So he started at UFC 93. Where's the first one you saw?
Oh man.
I bet you it's gonna be a gap. You're gonna be like UFC like 40 or some bullshit.
The first one I actually ever paid for was, I think, was it Koscheck and Diego Sanchez that had that garbage
Wait, the first
fight?
one you saw though, the first one you ever saw.
And I don't even remember.
First one I ever saw was UFC 7.
No,
I
mine
went
wasn't
to
that
the
early. Mine was,
VHA
Seven.
went to the rental place. Fun time video. Saw it on the wall. I was like, yo, Dad, let's get this thing. And we got it. It was sweet. And that was it. That was it from there. But there was no place to train back then, you know? So it took some years to find some place. And I drank a lot in between all that.
so
Like most
I
teenagers.
started out
Yeah.
like, I think I came in the gym, I was like 235, 240.
That's right. I remember that
I was
picture.
fat.
Oh
I
my-
was-
I actually didn't believe you when
I
you
made
said
Cody
that.
look skinny.
I was fat as shit when I started coming to the gym too.
Not that fat, but
Not that fat. I
Yeah.
hit 199.
I don't know. I was skinny, dude. I was like 130 my senior year of high school.
yeah, you were already in shape.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know. When you're 6 foot whatever and you're done 130, that's not in shape. Either.
Yeah, I guess not. You're just a skinny rail.
Yeah.
So
But
Eric,
that's what you're making. What were you making now?
55.
Wow.
Yeah.
oh, okay. So you're 55. You're making 55, or you're?
I'm making 55.
Okay.
Yeah. You
You're
know.
bigger than that.
Yeah. I got,
thought
I got cut down to get there.
That's what I thought. And did you ever fight at 45?
No, we did the. I
Okay.
did the weight cut,
And then
the guy
came in too late, right?
came in too late.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate. That was the
Oh
worst.
my-
Oh my
that-
gosh, it's so stupid.
Logan drove me all the way down to Columbus. I weighed in at 144, something
Yeah.
stupid like that.
And the guy came in at like 134 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's eating a burrito and
He's like trying to make.
yeah.
And
Put some lead in your pockets, bro. Weigh in. With
and I was
like
over. I
clothes
couldn't.
on.
I was like a couple pounds over.
You guys were already gone. You and Jeff were already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there like by
I was,
myself.
I was a couple
didn't-
pounds over, and I wasn't gonna pass the physical.
Yeah.
Because you know how like
They do it ahead of time.
they used to do it. Well, every show I've ever been in, except for this one, you weigh in at noon, and then you come back at 4 and do physical.
Mhm.
So if I don't know why I was cutting so much weight. It was stupid. I should never went down to 35 at that time, but I wasn't. My blood pressure was insane. My heart was in the guy.
Yeah.
The guy's like So it was just like I'm like, why don't like if they as soon as you step up the scale, they wanted you to do your physical. And I was trying to talk the guy into taking the fight anyhow because I was a couple pounds over, and the lady's like, it doesn't matter anyhow. You're not going to pass physical, so you're wasting your time.
Oh shit.
But that was
that was the weight cuts, man. That's
So-
it's the worst. I mean, it's the worst part about our sport.
yeah,
really.
and I think there's it's getting better. I think a lot of guys are showing us that they don't need not necessarily cutting all the weight. It's actually going to be that beneficial. So
Like I think it's one of those things where I think it's a wrestling thing
Yeah.
first, because if you look at boxing, a lot of those guys walk around a little bit over. They don't walk around
Yeah.
as heavy because they have to go 12 or 10 rounds.
and I know exactly for the Golden Gloves coming up, right? Golden Gloves coming up locally.
Yeah.
And
Starts tonight.
yeah, you have to weigh in a week beforehand to be within so much. You have to be within so much of your weight class.
Yeah.
So that's just a way that they do it to keep guys from cutting too much weight.
Yeah.
Like wrestling, right? You want to turn me up just a little bit over there? I'm on number. I don't know which number I am because you didn't.
So
1, 2. Hey, that's good.
all right. So came from a traditional background. What was the biggest, I guess, or the hardest thing transitioning from the traditional martial arts to the mixed martial arts?
I think that the hardest thing is, I don't know, you build a lot of habits. And some of those things, when you start to look at boxing and kickboxing and Muay Thai and wrestling, they all have their own unique thing to them. And then you have MMA, which is all of them mixed together, which has its own kind of thing. So I think, like, coming in, I was kind of overwhelmed for maybe the first year I was there, like, trying to train. because there's so much going on that I thought I knew that I didn't, that just wasn't working, you know, and you have to break the habit, and then you have to rebuild a good one. But the good thing is when you do that, it's better. It's reinforced. It keeps you from making mistakes like you were doing, because it was a mistake before. You were getting your butt beat. Well, let me fix it, and now I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah. So basically, you know, you spend a lot of time focusing on the things that weren't working where you had to change in your game a little bit.
Yep.
So you got to keep all the good. Those were reinforced,
Right.
and then you fixed the mistakes, and now you had that really good kicking base, basically. And then, Brad, what do you think? Eric's got a pretty good frame.
Yeah. I would hate to fight him if I was a little dude. I'd hate to fight him now. I mean, he can keep me away, and I'm how tall are you?
6'1".
6'1". Jesus.
6'1". Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
I'm not 6'1".
I remember. I don't remember. You had a smoker. Evolve. You hit the guy. It was like literally like a 3-piece and a soda. Like, it was like 1-2 uppercut, bam. You just slouched against the cage. I was like, "Ooh, shit!
Yeah, that was my
coming up, son. Look out!"
That was my first smoker where I really felt like comfortable, because I mean, you really gotta, like, I don't know, the crowd. I'm going in there to fight. I might get knocked out. Yada yada. You know, it was the first one where I was like, I don't care. I just wanna do this.
I think that was like the most impressive performance of the night of that night.
I still have that one. I dropped that dude. I like him too. I think I talked to him a little bit after. His name was Adam. Yeah,
it was a brutal combination, man.
I dropped him 3 times in that first round.
It was nasty.
Eric's hit me a couple times.
Cody eats it.
Yeah,
like
Cody,
a lot
you've
of
been
things.
hit by everybody. Life the hardest.
Sometimes.
You know, the funniest thing is, the biggest thing with like a traditional martial arts background, you always have to be like really prepared, and you have to know all your stuff all the time. So the biggest thing is just you really prepare well for events. You know, you're never like 2 weeks out, oh, I need to do this, or my weight's like this. You're always like zoned in. So like, I don't know, just learning organization and planning things lets you plan training trips, lets you plan a bunch of different, you know, you're training where you're going to be, what you're doing, who you're doing it with. So that's probably the best thing I took from that.
That's awesome. So how many fights have we had?
4-1, 1 boxing, few smokers, and then some grappling.
So how many more fights is that than you, Brad?
I've had 1 kickboxing smoker, 1 MMA fight. I've had a shitload of grappling.
We're not talking about
competitions,
sir. Let's
okay.
not.
You don't want to go to my credentials?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Hey, you just won.
Did I strangle the bejesus out of you today?
I
You
don't-
can't shake me from back.
I don't recall. Dude, I'm super pissed
I'm like
off
your
about
fucking backpack these days.
that. I'm kind of mad. I'm.
And I showed you all my tricks today,
Dude, it was.
and you still couldn't escape. It was pathetic.
It takes a while to sink it
Brad-
in.
Yeah.
He's got a hard
Look,
head.
look,
he's
guys.
pretty
Brad is
smart on shit.
Brad
He
has been
figures it out.
kicking the shit out of me for the last week. I'm really upset right now.
You stifled some of my guard passing today, though.
So the other, was it last Friday you showed your passing off butterfly, or or maybe it was Tuesday. Was it
It was
Tuesday?
Tuesday. I
So
showed all
Tuesday
my
you showed a bunch of
passing
passing.
stuff. Yeah,
So Monday was it one, or I don't know, recently you kicked the shit out of me really bad.
that was the day before, Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was pissed.
they're all
Yeah.
starting to blend together, aren't they?
I've been hit a lot in the
And
head.
then today, I just kicked your ass again.
I
It
don't
was
know.
Pathetic.
I don't know if I'd say kick.
I heel hooked you like in like about
I don't know.
a minute and a half.
I don't recall.
And then I strangled you.
Don't worry. I'm cheap
It was
shotting your ass. I'll hit you in the nuts. I'm doing that Helson pass.
You're gonna need
Without
something
a-
like that.
without a belt?
Without a belt, you're just gonna grab my nuts.
So the big reason we wanted to ask Eric on today, guys, is if you don't know, if you don't follow, which you should, how can we follow you?
I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have Facebook.
Do you know what Twitter is, Brett?
I don't have a Twitter. I do know what it is. I don't
Twitter's
call it
awesome
the
for
Twitter.
news.
All right.
It is awesome for news. It's the best part
So-
about it.
So what's our Instagram and Twitter name?
It's all the same. It's Pozun.
Pozun.
Really, really easy.
Guys, don't mess that up.
Pozun.
Go follow him. But the big reason we wanted to talk to you today is you got a big fight coming up on May 18th in Erie at the Bayfront Center, right?
Yeah, it's a great venue. It's I fought there once before, and me and Logan are fighting there right now. Hopefully get Nikolai on it, and then one of our other guys, Lou. So it's exciting having that much energy in the gym. You know what it's like
Yeah.
when you got a bunch of
Yeah.
guys all competing.
You need that. You need everybody competing at the
Right.
same time.
Yeah.
Especially young guys. Get them all there.
Yeah,
know.
you beat each other up and
So
The
I
whole
mean,
thing.
as you haven't even said it yet. This is a title fight, right?
It's a
Amateur
title
fight.
fight. Yeah, it's a
I mean,
kind of
So is Amy's 5 rounds still for a title?
No, it's gonna
No.
be three.
yes.
It's gonna be three. But in PA, so PA rules are a little
I was
bit
gonna say the rules are different,
a
right?
little bit
No.
different for the beginning amateur.
Yeah.
But once you
Oh,
get
yeah.
up to the advanced amateur, it's the same as Ohio AMI
Oh,
rules.
sweet.
So he won't have shin guards on. Has
Yeah.
your guy been a PA only fighter?
Yeah, he's only fought in Erie. I think this might be his first fight without shin
So
guards.
I think that's
in
gonna
the
be
2-minute rounds.
I think it's
Yeah,
going to be
that's
an
gonna be an advantage.
interesting thing. I think that's something that holds some of the PA guys back is when they come from, they get used to the shin guards.
Wait, you could only punch, like in that level when you have the shin guards, you can only punch to the body right in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
going to be
can't.
a big difference right
There's
there.
gonna be a
That'll
couple
be the biggest difference.
huge difference. So I think that's going to, in my opinion, it's going to favor you a little bit for
Yeah.
preparation wise, is you're used to that stuff. So
Right.
Um,
and doing stuff with with the pros, we do 5s.
Yeah.
So it's not really that big of a difference. Yeah. And the extra minute, that 2 to 3 minute.
that's a
It doesn't seem like a lot, but
No,
if that's all you're
it
used
is a difference.
Yeah.
I
So-
know that from just boxing, like when they're like, oh, you're going to box like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Even in that minute makes a difference.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Like the pacing of the round.
The
you know?
pacing.
Even
it's a
when
big
when we
thing.
do jujitsu, when we go from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 10,
Yeah,
it completely changes the
completely changes the dynamic
so-
of the match.
I'm gonna call it now. I think you're gonna drop this. I think this guy's gonna. You're just gonna. He's not gonna be able to deal with your leg kicks, and he's gonna fold because he's not gonna be used to getting hit with shins and not shin with straight
Yeah.
shins and not shin pads, and he's gonna break.
You
I
won
like
your last
that.
fight,
I like
right?
that
You won your last fight by armbar, right?
I did.
That's
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
There you go.
I always
Put
enjoy
Eric
arm-
on his back, he still got shit, you know? So.
Yeah.
So that's
No.
something. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this and not be rude. I would say that's probably if you probably admit that's probably one of your going into your last couple fights. Biggest weakness is probably your ground game. Like,
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it was definitely the thing that.
not saying you're bad at it, but just saying you're so much better on your feet.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you had to probably put the most work in.
Yeah. It's definitely like, I don't know, everything's got like, it's like a game. It's like an RPG. You know, you have like your strength, you have your other stuff, you have your meters. You know, you
Yeah.
work on one thing to bring it up, and then this thing falls behind, and it's always that's the
just
best.
how it goes, yeah.
That's the best part about martial arts, though, is just being able to work on different things. So for this one, I was just telling Rob, I went out to Lake Catholic on Thursday to go wrestle. I'll go out there again
Well, you went out there on Thursday?
with Pito's kids. They were up there, and
You didn't even tell me.
I went up there with Evan.
That's
And
nice.
then I'm going
Wait,
up to
you went to Lake Catholic or Lake Erie College?
Lake Catholic.
Lake Catholic. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because they're doing
I was
open
gonna go
gym up
there.
there.
I was gonna go there.
They wanted real wrestlers, not you,
No,
Cody.
they do freestyle and Greco 537. Did you
Yes.
go for that?
Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, and to be honest, I think that's a better don't do like I think if you're gonna do any
That's what he was
wrestling,
saying.
I think
Yeah.
freestyle and Greco is a lot better for MMA. Actually, you know my shin to shin bullshit, Brad.
Yeah, I hate it.
I basically did they show you leg lace?
They did. That's how we went over. Yeah.
So
we were going
that
over a
leg
few.
lace maneuver I picked up in freestyle a couple of years ago when I was coaching.
Yeah.
And I literally used that off a little like I elevate the shin and then I turn
Yeah.
it into a leg lace as
Isn't
I'm
that
rolling
cool?
through.
That's the
And-
coolest part.
yeah.
Is just taking things and moving it over. You
So
know?
that's super cool. So how cool was it last match? Last fight, winning by armbar when that's something you've been putting a lot of work in.
That was a really cool feeling because I lost my last fight by submission.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Brad wanted to bring it up, and I said no.
I didn't say
Nice.
anything about that. I didn't even know he lost by submission, so I'm old, dude.
It was it's an eye-opening experience. You know, it's this sport. You're not invincible. You know, you can lose in a bunch of different ways, and if you're not on your A game and the other guy is, that's all it
one
takes.
mistake. It takes one
It
little
takes
mistake.
one mistake.
Um,
And you gotta learn from that experience. It sucks going through it, but looking at it now, I'm kind of glad I lost. Because
Yeah.
I learned more from it than
Dude,
I
I've
would
put
have
some-
if I'd have won.
I lost to John Gunther in a grappling tournament. And, dude, I'd never been dominated in a grappling tournament like that in my life. And it was more like he just ran me out of gas. I was going in there thinking it was unlimited time limits. I was just going to run everybody out of gas. That is the wrong fucking guy that tried to run out of gas. Well, let me just say that. And, dude,
exactly.
I made my game go up super low.
Because now you have stuff
so like,
to work for.
Yeah.
You're looking at it, and it's like.
I put a lot of work in after that because I was like, not a fucking again.
Yeah.
I need to up my skills and everything. So.
And if anything, it just kind of dials you in, like, I really need to do.
Dude, one
this,
loss
this,
is
and
not a
this.
bad thing. Like you're saying, opens your eyes up. That's
Especially,
what it did for me.
especially at the amateur, especially at the amateur level. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna
now's
hit the
the time
reset
to
button
lose.
anyhow.
Yeah.
Like, I have no doubt in my mind you're gonna be at that pro level for a long time. You're at the right place, training with the right guys.
Yeah.
I know you as a person. Like, your goal is not just to do this for a couple days, maybe go pro once. You're doing it because you want to do it. It's something you want to do for a
goal.
while.
Yeah.
And I know that. So, it's an amateur loss isn't gonna affect your and even a pro loss isn't really gonna affect anything. If we talk about local guys, you brought up Gunther.
Yeah.
He beat
Yeah.
Devontae.
It made him better.
And
It made him.
it made Devontae better. Look
Yeah.
who's in the UFC winning fights
Yeah.
right now. So
Looking like a killer too.
He moved. He did the right things that he had to do for him.
So I think that's important. I always give bonus points to guys who win by arm bars because that's what I like. It's my favorite thing.
You haven't landed one in a long time. Just
Not
saying.
on you.
I haven't
Wait.
seen you land one period in a long time.
Well, it's because you're old and you don't pay attention. I think I hit
plays the
Citizen
leg lock
Chain on
game.
one. I hit Citizen Chain on one.
These not even my main thing. I got a plethora. Actually, the
I got
back
a
is
plethora.
the back has been my thing lately. I've been just
Dude,
strangling.
So
fools.
yeah. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. 'Cause I gotta talk shit.
Anyways,
So Eric, how's training been going?
Training's been awesome. I took like a week off after my last fight, and they told me, May 18th was, title shot. So I took some time off that week, and I basically just got right back into it. Started with building up my athletic base, which was another thing that wanted to bring up. So that's been fun working with that. Next, in 2 weeks, I leave for Canada.
Ooh.
oh
Yep.
snap! What are you
Going
doing
up
there?
to TriStar.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
What's up now?
That's
You're gonna get some-
exciting.
You can get some real good jiu-jitsu there. You got some top level.
Oh,
dudes.
I was been watching some of the stuff. Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, they
all
got some
their
really
guys
good
great.
guys.
That is
there,
super
man.
exciting. So
I leave Tuesday night, and I'm there for 4 days, staying
You
at the
stay in-
dorms.
I was gonna say stay in the dorms.
that's
Does that cost a lot or?
No,
If you don't mind us-
I'm
Right.
actually kind of surprised. Yeah,
Yeah, because he
It
was.
was
He always
pretty
has the commercials on there. I was wondering.
it was pretty cheap actually. The most expensive thing was the flight.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So
That's
so
that's gonna be awesome.
what do you do for a living?
I am the director of first impressions at a financial firm.
That's pretty cool. So how do they view you in fighting?
They all came to my last fight.
That's pretty cool.
And I think they're all gonna go to this one too. My boss, his girlfriend grew up with Stipe,
Okay.
so he's kind of been around it forever. When they used to do the fights at Gray's Armory.
Mhm.
He used to go to those. And I
Oh,
wish he would
okay.
bring
I
back
went
some of
those.
those local Gray's Armory, other than Fight Night in the Flats kind of thing.
No, I agree. I would love to see a lot more local promotions. I know they were talking about something. Remember at the Menor bringing to go to the Menor Ice Arena
We've
again?
been talking about that
But
forever.
I just think what happens is, as an area, we don't support our own enough. I
No.
think that's the biggest issue. We s-
I
you
think
have
there's a lot of saturation out there too, man. There's too many damn events, dude.
yeah.
But you're right. Like, why aren't you out to see local fighters? Who wants to say I saw Devontae fight? Now he's in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When the RFO was doing all their stuff in Mansfield, it was a local thing, but they were bringing some good eyes to it.
And down south, they do a lot more. They do bring a lot more people out. They do
Yeah.
get a lot more of those guys to travel. And I don't have a really good reason why.
I don't know
like,
either.
I don't understand because, and I think I saw a meme the other day where it had like a meme on there that said, all the people who say they're going to go to my fight, and has like just a whole crowd, and then
I saw that.
and then it has the people who actually came. And
Yep.
for all of us who fight, you're doing fight to win, where you're going to be
Yeah.
required to sell tickets. They say selling, oh, just do what you can do, don't. But if you don't sell tickets, you're not going to get.
You're not getting anything.
You're not
Yeah.
getting what
Yeah.
you need. There. So
At
that's-
the end of the day, I mean, for them it's a business. So, and for us, we just want fights.
Yeah, they
Well,
got to
so we
make
want
money.
people to
You
show
know,
up.
that's they got to make a lump of money. They got to pay the pros, so
Right.
got to sell the tickets, right?
Yeah.
Is now fight night in the flats is still a thing, right?
That's
still
that's still a thing. It was really cool fighting at the Roxino. That was a perfect venue.
Yeah,
for
I
them. It was nice. It was it was ran very well, and it seems like they said they sold out.
yeah,
So,
and like
that's good.
even Bayfront, they seem to get PA. Seems to
Bayfront's
get-
huge.
PA seems to get a lot of guys out
Yeah.
who will come out there and watch the fights, and then we would have them. Like,
Well, it's how long has MMA been in PA? Is it not as long as Ohio, right? Wasn't it legalized not
That's
that
true.
long ago there?
They,
Yeah.
but PA does have
So
a
I
lot
think it's
more.
kind of a newer
PA,
thing.
They are a lot more supportive, like wrestling type stuff. Like even Ohio's really supportive of wrestling. PA's on like another level.
Another
and they
level.
Just, you
It's
know,
a bigger thing for them, right?
It's probably like PA is probably one of the few states in the country who are hands down better than Ohio. Like you
For
know,
wrestling.
For wrestling,
Yeah.
like they're like Ohio's on par with other states. PA's the only one that hands down.
Because Penn State's
Yeah,
don't they win every year?
yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won. They won. I think 9 out of the last 10 or something. I don't know, something like that. But so that's interesting. That's just an interesting concept.
And training has been great with with the new gym with Rev. You
So
know,
you're over at Revolution. That's up there in Northeast Ohio Sports Complex, right?
Yep.
And I've been up there a couple times. We were just there for King of the Mat. Been there for a couple seminars. Came there, trained a couple times. It just sucks it's so far from me, but for you, it's probably not too bad, right?
yeah, it's actually closer now
Yeah.
than going out to Menor.
Yeah.
I actually, from where I work, it's like 5 minutes
Oh, that's
on
sweet.
a
Oh,
street.
nice.
Yeah. So getting there, you got Tim Stafford is giving you mitt work, and he's running things, and George is out trying to learn new stuff and bring it to us and integrate it. That's the best thing about him as a coach.
What about
That's
his
kind
abs?
that's kind of
I think his abs are kind of better.
Yeah, his abs are great.
well, I don't get to see those.
I don't understand.
Apparently, you're on a different level than I am. That's what that means.
He asked for pictures.
All the time, every day.
So what else we got going on in MMA? So we have the local fights. Who is there any pros fighting on that card, Eric?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got Logan. Logan's fighting.
Oh snap!
He's a giant. If you don't know
Dude.
Logan, he's just
He's huge.
he looks like a pro. Like
you
looks
talk about athletically
like-
gifted. I mean, it's just
like Eric. Somebody might not know you fight. They'd be like, that guy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
like, maybe he's.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Like me, people are like that. I'll fight that guy. If people
Yeah.
see me, they'll be like, I'll fight him any day.
It's still one of my favorite stories.
Which story?
You know which one.
I don't know. I
yeah.
remember.
We
What-
just talked about that one in the last
Yeah.
podcast. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
not the
last-
one where Dante asked if you did jujitsu. That's a whole different story. We'll talk
That's
about that
a
later.
good one too.
That's not true. Citizen Shane pulled April's Fool.
Citizen Shane said he took a private with Dante and he asked if the announcer did jujitsu. He's
Like-
so out of shape.
He's like, he's like, does that guy
He
really
was
do
all
jujitsu?
pissed.
There's no way. I was like, fuck. I know.
Oh, he is so good.
Dude, he
Yeah.
is on a different
He
level,
is-
bro.
He's doing something this weekend too, right? I think I saw.
Kasai this weekend, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Is that like?
He's picked to lose that from what I saw. They had the voting on Flow. Of course, I voted for Dante, but people were saying the other dude's going to be, I don't know the other guy. There's so many guys in grappling, it's hard to fucking keep track, you know?
it is.
There's just murders out there.
You got like the Danaher Death Squad that
Yeah.
seem to.
Most
win
people
everything.
know all them, because they talk about it, but then you got guys like Flippy Pena.
Yeah,
He's
that is.
beaten Gordon twice.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
same way. No
Yeah.
one knows it because he doesn't speak fucking English, but he's a monster. He was actually just there training.
Hold on. Is this Kasai? Which one is this?
Kasai Pro. I don't remember which one it is. I'm not a fan
Is
of
it
the
Edwin?
rules, but
Is it Edwin Najami?
that's the guy. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know that guy for some reason. I'm not update on all the latest and
Killer
greatest. I
flying
guess
attacks, dangerous dark chokes.
that doesn't sound like you're gonna do shit against Dante.
I don't know,
'cause none of
Dante's-
that shit works against him.
It's I don't know. We'll,
Yeah,
so
he's really thick.
what you
He was
so
thick as
Strong,
let's talk
bro.
about our traditional martial artists, former. What do you think of Sergio Pettis not Sergio, Anthony Pettis in Wonder Boy?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Who did you
Yeah.
want to win? Who did you want to win that fight?
I wanted Anthony Pettis to win.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I like Pettis a lot still. Wonder Boy's. I just some of his style doesn't do it for me. You know, put your hands up. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, it was cool to see him. Like he's been through the ringer the last few years. So.
Coming up weight class,
went up to
big
170.
underdog.
Yeah, I don't think he's not gonna. Is he gonna stay there? He's not.
I
Really
don't.
that
No, I
big
heard
for 70.
He's so small, dude.
Yeah, I heard he's going. I heard he's going back down. What about? Did you watch Edson Barboza and Gaethje?
Oh my God,
Dude,
Gaethje
Gaethje.
he's
kind of a nightmare for Edson. The guys that come forward, don't let him kick, just throw punches in his
which
face.
is so weird. I think I was just saying this the other day. Like Edson would do so good against McGregor, but he would probably loses to every other like forward pressure guy.
Yeah, if you forward pressure him, McGregor likes to keep his distance.
Yeah,
But if you get in his face, it's much worse because when he backs up is when you hit him.
he just doesn't have anything
I think-
backwards and laterally.
Here's what I think. Gaethje's like my style with actual athleticism and skill. Like
Serious athleticism.
he's a freak,
He's kind
but he kind of fights like I fight, where he's like,
oh,
let's-
dumb?
let's
Yeah, he
fucking
fights
go.
just like that.
Yeah, he's like, let's fucking go.
but he kicks better.
Yeah,
Yeah, his kicks are like a
Baseball bat.
1,000% better.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a very fair statement.
There might not even be a
I
number
mean,
for
you're
that.
the math teacher,
Right,
so
definitely 1,000 is definitely nowhere near.
can we go higher?
Yeah, I would definitely go way higher. Probably 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Infinite.
training leg kicks
Yeah,
with
he's
Edson,
fucking-
and then he cracked him with the right hand when he was circling off.
Yeah, that's what you just
That's
throw.
crazy.
Just throw right hands, overhand rights all day. I don't understand why.
You just spam
dude.
those.
Yeah.
Some
It's
people are
it's like a
saying
video
that he'd
game.
be a tough matchup for Khabib because of his wrestling.
I think that'd be
Yeah.
a decent. What do you think?
I don't know how good a wrestler he is. Is he like?
He's all American.
Is he gonna stop? If he could stop Khabib's takedowns, yeah, he'll probably fuck him up.
You know, I was just watching a thing from BJJ Scout about like how Iaquinta shut down Khabib.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
I
love
think-
that shit.
I think,
BJJ
like-
Scouts are awesome.
I think that if he had more than one day to prepare, I think Gaethje could do pretty well. I don't think Khabib's not nobody's unbeatable.
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
Khabib's big. I mean, he's a big.
He gets fairly tired sometimes. He
Yeah.
gets something to take a round off.
So I think
you
that's
know?
something that if you could break him.
Yeah.
We did see him get kind of tired against Connor, and
yeah.
He got tired against Iaquinta too.
yeah.
Yep. All his
So,
boys have been getting busted for supplements.
That's a big thing.
Nobody would
anyway.
ever do that.
And
There's
one guy wasn't he like caught like 3 times? He got a
yeah,
lifetime ban.
Yeah, Now there's a new one. There's a new Nurmagomedov. I was like, would it be funny if it was like actually like this?
My God.
The same guy, would just he changed
He
his
just
name.
changed his name.
No, the one Nurmagomedov guy, he got busted once, then he got busted again for like 3 different like he had
Bro.
all the steroids in him, and then the third one he didn't like he refused to take a test, so that's
yes.
an automatic
All
fail.
right.
Oh wait,
Yeah, you're
Russians
done.
doing steroids? No
So,
way.
I'm not saying anything about Russians.
It's just a sport,
Guys, that
period.
is Brad Bugovic's talking. Russian
Alex,
friends,
don't watch
please-
this and don't come
please
after me.
kill Brad. You guys are good people. Don't. I'm not part of that. I don't want to die.
Just saying. Anyways,
And
what
Russia
else?
steroids do
What
you?
other fights do we have on that card? Anything of note?
What's coming up soon? I just
There's,
saw.
there's a fight coming up.
Oh,
Actually, you know what the fight
Oh,
I'm looking
dude.
most forward to is Chandler and Pitbull from Bellator. I love
Dude.
Oh,
Michael
that's-
They
Chandler.
fought before, right?
Yeah, no.
They haven't fought before?
He fought his
Dude,
brother.
how did those
He
guys-
knocked out his brother.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
UFC 236 looks pretty good. That's Saturday, April 13th. That's Holloway and Poirier.
Ooh.
Kevin Gastelum and Des.
Talk about 2 guys that were killing themselves to make 145
Oh
and
my
move up.
God.
And look at that. Now you're
Yeah.
finding some success.
Well, I couldn't believe Holloway was. Is he bigger than you?
Dude,
I
you
have
see
a
it?
picture from like 2015 with Holloway at the Arnold. He dwarfs me.
Yeah.
He is.
He looks big,
He
bro.
was injured, so I think he said he was like heavier anyway. I think he did something like his foot, or he was out for like 9 months anyway. He looked every bit of like 180.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean,
he was
I've seen
thick.
in pictures of
And
him
that's.
next
I
to
think he's
DC,
bigger
and you're
now.
like,
I think
holy
he's like
shit.
bulkier now than he was.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe he ever made 45.
What a-
He was really skinny when he first fought. You know, like Connor and Poirier. When he first fought
Yeah.
those guys, he was real skinny. But now he's like, you're right. He's beefed up.
So
And he beat
Yeah,
he beat Aldo twice. That's
That's
Dude.
pretty crazy,
Yeah.
dude. He just outpaced him, just put it on him.
Yeah.
It was that thing. You know, it's just Aldo. is a great technical striker. Impossible to take down.
Dude, is he, man?
But he
He's
gets tired.
crazy.
You know?
He's hard to take down. His kicks are crazy, but I think all those guys that throw a lot of kicks, they seem to wear down. Like they're throwing a lot of knees.
Yeah.
They stop throwing.
That's why I don't.
Kicks.
That's why I don't throw kicks.
That's not why you throw kicks.
That's because you suck.
Can't pick up your leg. Come on.
Well, it's because it's planted to throw off over.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, like that's kind of like the only thing. Like I tell everybody, like whenever I would like teach a boxing class or anything like that, I'd be like, look, guys, I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm good at a couple of things. I'll push a pace.
Yeah.
I will push a pace, and I will keep on coming.
And
all
you will
day.
take punches.
And I will eat some punches to give some punches, but I won't. And I think that's the toughest thing to deal with. If you can push a pace, that's really one of the hardest things to deal with, in my opinion.
You know, when you start to get tired, you make mistakes anyway. You know, when you're pushing the other guy and now he's starting to make mistakes, he could be technically better than you, but now you're forcing him to make mistakes just by your pace. You know? Yeah, you're right.
And that's why it was always fun when me and you did a lot of sparring.
Yeah.
I hated when we had to do any Muay Thai sparring. It was annoying because it was whatever.
Oh, me and Cody, we would do Mondays, man. That was
boxing.
We would do like five or six rounds just with each other.
Yeah, because there wasn't too many guys like around our skill level at the time, and okay, around Eric's skill level, I wasn't. I don't know I wasn't any good, but you know we would go, and it'd be a really fun thing because that's one of the things when you start to get to these higher level AMIs, pros, you get adjustments mid-fight. That's the biggest thing. I think you're probably noticing too is now you have to start making your adjustments quicker and more concise, and you have to identify stuff quicker and then change on the fly. And that's something where when we would go 5-6 straight rounds, I might have something that's working for me the first round. I make a little change, and you got to make. It's like it turns your fighting into more of a chess game.
It's fun, and you know you don't kill each other that way either. You know you're putting some shots on each other, but you're not. Nobody's getting knocked out. You're learning.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
I agree.
You know. So we would go those 6 rounds. Yeah, you would. It was literally human chess. That's what you want martial arts to be like is chess. So you would do something, then I would.
Right, chess is a game that like smart people play. I don't know if you.
Hey, you're playing checkers. I'm playing chess, bitch. You got 2 moves. And I'm like, I see your 2 moves to these 15. What's up?
Are we talking about jiu-jitsu or boxing?
Jiu-jitsu.
All right.
Oh, boxing. You know what I always try to do to Cody? I come out there. I know, like I have to hit him with like something hard right away, like a jab or something. Just piss him off. Once I pissed him off, then he fights stupid.
You know that's the thing. Yeah.
Let's come out there, pop him once, and he's like, throws his hands down. Then you're like, oh, I got him now.
But
now he's gonna do some stupid
I don't think.
shit.
I think that was like. I think the last year whenever we sparred, man. I don't think that.
The last year, I barely ever sparred.
Exactly, because I was beating you up so bad you had to just focus on jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, that was it.
In your hip.
Yeah, I'm old. My hands hurt. My hip hurts. You know?
That's right, your hand. I forgot about that.
Dude, my hands are jacked, man.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be grabbing my gi.
Dude, my
ever think
hand
about
hurt
that?
for like 3 days trying to choke you with that gi.
You almost killed me, and now your hand. I'm still alive, and your hand hurts.
It feels better now.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. He'll remember that for the rest of his life.
Brad would break bones just to choke me. That's
I rear naked choked you today. That was pretty nice.
I don't recall.
With some shit I showed you even today.
That was good shit.
Pathetic.
So what else we got for Eric? What else you want to
Can we talk about all the fights coming up? Did you just look up one fight?
Man, I looked up.
We looked up one card.
Yeah, he literally mentioned one fight. He's like, it's a good card. He mentioned one fight off the whole card.
Okay, Kevin Gastelum in Israel. I don't know how to say his last name. Adesanya.
You're gonna tell me that you wouldn't mention that fight?
It's a pretty big fight.
That's a great fight.
Okay, who do you got?
I don't. Israel looks hard to take down, bro.
Gastelum.
But Gastelum, if he gets him down,
he's overhand right.
He's a lefty.
Overhand left.
We haven't seen him. Has he fought a wrestler yet?
Has
he fought Brunson?
When's the last time he fought?
Brunson's takedowns were fucking terrible. He had his arms like all loose and shit, like just trying to, like the most untechnical takedowns I ever saw in my life.
When was the last time he actually fought?
I think I'm leaning Gastelum.
My problem with Gastelum, he's so fucking fat.
Whoa.
But
that's hurtful.
But moving up, you know.
I mean, he looks like Cody Lewis.
His cardio is nuts, actually.
He looks like like a Spanish version of Cody.
He is in better shape than me.
Oh fuck yeah, he is. Yeah, I
And
think
he's lefty.
I'm gonna go Gastelum him on that one.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I'll go Gastelum by.
Like somehow he's gonna get a takedown somehow,
I think it'll
and
be
then
like,
he's gonna expose him on the ground.
it'll be like round 4. Round
Yeah,
4
it's gonna take
TKO.
him a while to figure out that puzzle for
Yeah.
sure.
Like that first 2 rounds might be a little
It's
bit of
scary.
punishment for him.
Yeah, he could take it though. Man, that dude could take a shot. I don't think he's ever been like rocked.
because
Did-
when you're eating all the
Woodley?
food,
Woodley
You're-
might have locked him.
Did
harder to
Woodley,
get
Woodley
rocked.
lock him? I don't remember.
what's up?
Woodley could hurt anybody, I think.
Yeah,
he could
Woodley-
like hurt
Woodley
this
hits-
wall over here.
Yeah.
Now, if he'd ever throw a jab, that might help him a little bit too. He just
If
throws
he-
one power punch at a time. Like,
His thing
what the
is, I just don't know. He puts himself in such a bad position on
Against the
defense.
cage? Yeah.
Immediately.
Maybe he feels like it helps his wrestling takedown defense. I don't know. It's very strange.
Well,
Didn't help him against freaking what's his name, who has no knees, by the way. Apparently,
Usman.
yeah. Apparently
yeah.
his knees are gone. He's had 2 surgeries on each one.
He said he can't run. He
Yeah.
can't even like run or whatever to
crazy.
do
That's
cardio.
why. That's why I tell people when. That's why I tell people that's why I learned how to fight. I never have to run again.
What other fights are on that card? You had one job, bro. We're gonna talk about it. You look them up.
There's nothing great. I mean,
That's it.
Just those 2.
there's more. Eric Anders and Khalil Roundtree. That's a fun fight.
That's a fun fight.
I mean,
yeah.
it's not great, but
Somebody's
it's a
getting
fun fight.
knocked out probably.
Yeah,
Um,
they're big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Juban and Beanie
Joe
Joban, Jabarba. OSP's fighting Nikita Krylov. That's tough. That's
Yeah, it's a good fight.
It's a good fight. I mean,
See, those are all good, even scraps.
they're good even scraps. They're nothing like.
I'm just wondering what the matchups are going to be like. Now you guys know about the ESPN Plus deal, right?
Right.
What it means
Yeah.
for the
Hopefully-
pay-per-view buys.
Hopefully that's good for the sport moving forward.
It's not good for the fighters
Oh.
because they're not going to. You will have zero leverage because they're already guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like they have 500,000 pay-per-view buys. They're like, okay,
Off an event, that's how
Yeah.
they're
they're going to be like, hey, Connor, kick rocks, bro.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I was wondering. I was wondering. That's
So
actually.
they're making money no matter what.
Well, that was where I was starting to where it might get interesting because if I think this is gonna affect like your pay-per-view percentage, right?
It might be.
Oh, you think
might be-
so?
So
Yeah.
How many people have that damn app? And how old people like myself, we can't figure that out. I
More-
have the app,
But
but I didn't
no,
figure it
that's
out,
that's
but-
where it becomes interesting. Okay, so right now, Connor, John Jones, those guys don't give a shit about a fighters union because they, like the big names who you need to get into a fighters union.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? They're giving up millions of dollars for a fighters union. You know, because they're basically like if
They're
you
giving
think-
up the pay-per-view points now, though.
Right.
Right.
Now that they're going to lose the pay-per-view points, maybe those guys will finally be like, okay, well now I've lost a shit ton of money now. Maybe now, okay, I'm mad. And then if you lose your big stars like John Jones, Connor, these big names, those guys say, look, I'm not fighting until you get this figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then it starts figuring out how to get these fighters treated a little more fair. I think it's a
It's
little
tough
disheartening.
to do. They're gonna have to go. They're gonna rework their contracts. They're gonna say, you know what, this was based on a different model. I need a new contract.
Look, Disney. At the end of the day, ESPN and Disney, they still want those million pay-per-view
Oh,
buys.
yeah, for
So
sure.
they still. It's not like they don't have
But-
value anymore,
But no, because I think
But not as
I think
much. with the
ESPN
but
UFC.
not as much.
I think,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hopefully we are going away from the pay-per-view model. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's-
dude. It's
I think
That'd
that's
be the best.
I think that's
best
the idea
case.
if we're going to
younger
go.
generation, dude. If you're gonna, you're streaming it on you're streaming on an app anyways. Why the fuck they gonna stream it for free? You get the same shitty freaking.
And, what are we going to what? You want me to pay $9.99 for UFC TV a month
And it's
and then-
streaming.
and then pay for ESPN
Yeah, it's
Plus
$15.
too?
If you do like Netflix, that's another $10.
They said the pay-per-views are gonna go down, but it's still not worth it.
And
No.
yeah, and like pay-per-views, that's not. That's how you. I mean, that's going to be, and then it's just when they lose a bunch of viewers, that's going to be.
Even boxing's moving away from that. Canelo is on.
What is it?
DAZN?
DAZN, yeah.
He's got like a
Dude, they
5-year,
just paid him a shitload.
5-year,
They just
$365 million.
got that dude from England too. What the hell's the other good heavyweight? I can't remember
Anthony
his name.
Joshua.
He doesn't fight
heavyweight.
anybody. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
So.
but those are your big,
Those
stars
are
in that
pay-per-view
sport.
stars. Yeah, and they're
Your
on
big pay-per-view
DAZN now.
Yeah,
So it's
because they want the guaranteed money too.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if I knew I was making this much, as opposed to this projection range,
and here's what ESPN Disney's thinking. Okay, we want to build this app, right?
Mhm.
We know UFC fans pay money every month to watch their stuff.
Yeah.
We know that, right?
Yeah.
That's we've seen it. They buy pay-per-views. If we can get a bunch of those guys to pay monthly for our ESPN app, boom, they're gonna think they're saving money because instead of paying $65, they're paying $15 a month.
Right.
Now we're making a bunch of money because then maybe we can get they're not trying to get just UFC.
Yeah.
They're just trying.
But
to
this
build
is just
the
in the States, I think.
What?
Yeah, it is
This
just
is not
in the
worldwide.
States.
It's just in the States.
Yeah, worldwide. Yeah.
So they're still getting the pay-per-views.
Well,
from England
there's
or
no. We're the
whatever,
only
you know.
country who really does pay-per-views to begin with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ESPN most of the time it's provided like in Europe and stuff, and it's provided with your cable package,
Which you
Oh,
have to
gotcha.
pay for.
which you have to pay
Oh,
for.
yeah.
But it's the same idea. Like you pay your $15 a month
Right.
for extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Hopefully, it helps the fighters. Bottom line, when they come in and
I hope, but
Yeah, you gotta you have to fight for
anybody
that
think,
for sure.
Anybody think that's gonna happen? Because I don't.
Unless like
slowly the your
it's gonna
base.
take Bellator and one getting bigger, which we didn't
One
talk about.
one is doing
either.
a great job. I think-
One. Hey, how about Eddie Alvarez got knocked out, right?
How about let's get some
His
some
eye.
drug testing in one.
No, there's not. That's never gonna happen. But
one in Bellator, they won't drug test.
no.
Bellator,
Well, shoot,
I,
yeah.
I like. I think I only like Chandler that they have, but man, their stuff is a little.
Dudes are definitely on some sauce.
No,
they
I mean,
got all the older guys that
Yeah.
were on the stuff in the first place,
who
Yeah.
knew how to get around the easy drug testing.
and they went back to it because
Yeah.
it's not USADA.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
it's
the
just state athletic, whatever
yeah,
it
which
is.
is
Right.
which is
And one is levels lower than that. They don't have them. But I mean, they put on a good card though.
dude. Yeah, they. I mean,
Mighty Mouse actually was in a little trouble, not a lot of trouble, but a little trouble in his
Is
fight.
it weird? Every fighter that like their first fight out of the UFC is always
Doesn't
like,
look good, right?
No.
well, and there's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of reasons that happens. One, it's slightly different. Everything's different. Like you know, what I mean, like if you have a whole different preparation procedure, if you're used to going to all the UFC stuff, and then that changes. Now you're flying halfway across the world, which jet lag is a real thing.
Yeah,
You know, jet lag's
that
a
would
real.
be real, yeah, for sure.
You know, and having that, and then, maybe you've been clean for the past 3 years. These guys haven't.
Yeah,
At this level, like, that might be the difference in a fight. Like, yeah, you might overcome it, but to say like, hey, I have the two of the best guys in the world. They both train the same amount. They're both highly skilled. One's on a little bit extra stuff, and one's not. That might be the difference. You know?
yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Like-
It was a good card though.
yeah.
Like they said, always the drug testing's always a step behind.
And I think one of our good friend of ours, Russ Herbert, he always talked about it too. You know, if you guys don't know, Russ pitched in AAA.
Oh, Russ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Russ Herbert.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he pitched in AAA baseball during the steroid era, and and he said
Hey, I've never talked to him about that. What it was like, 'cause I know he was really good.
he said I believe, and maybe we'll have him on as a guest one day, and we'll have a talk with him.
Yeah.
But I believe he said he was like throwing 96, 97 clean.
Damn.
That's
He's kind of a
crazy.
big dude.
Now
too,
think about
yeah.
that. Do you think
and
with
that was only
steroids?
AAA.
If steroids give you another 2 miles an hour, if you're hitting 99, you're probably making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So like he did the right thing by
Yeah.
making by not cheating, and it might have cost him millions of dollars. You know.
I worked with a guy that was coaching the College World Series a couple times. He got a bunch of guys in the pros, and he said all of them are on steroids. All of them.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah. It's just like MMA outside the UFC right now.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know what? USADA's not that much better anyhow. I'm not a
Well, yeah. Not with the janky way they kind of did the Jones thing.
Not a
I'm
lot
not
of-
impressed with that at all.
That was really handled poorly.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is terrible.
well. I
It's
mean,
like, oh, well, he has some picograms today.
and then what about what's Dillashaw?
Oh yeah, that was a
We
big
don't
one,
know
too.
what happened with him yet.
He was like,
I'm
I'm
interested.
giving up my
Him
belt.
giving up the belt and shit, he did some shit. It might be diuretics, though.
That's what
for him to lose
that's
that
what-
weight.
Didn't they say it's only a year suspension?
Yeah.
Does that mean
No. The USADA hasn't suspended him yet. The
Okay.
state commission has suspended him for a year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
So we don't
I'm
know what
interested
USADA's
because
gonna do.
remember Cody Garbrandt was saying that he was juicing. He was teaching all those guys how to juice.
Yeah. I
Which is
mean,
Not the best worded when he was
But-
saying that he was teaching us all how to juice.
Like
yeah.
if
Yeah.
that's now we've heard that, and then you have the failed test. That's gets kind of interesting. So
And it's funny, yeah, 'cause I don't know, him dropping down to 125 was.
and that's what gets,
Man,
that's what you think. That's
that's
where it gets
crazy.
interesting too. Okay, let's think about the John Jones defense, right? I had these stored. These picograms were in my fat stores.
Yeah.
So the end of training, when I get to the last nitty gritty, I I clean out my whole system for my weight cut. I get down to my lowest weight possible. Those last little hidden fat stores release just a couple little picograms of steroids from past use. It might have been Misha Tate was saying something like this. Maybe that's why he finally tested positive, because he juiced years ago, but he's been so lean, but then he went down to that little bit extra further to get down to 125, and just that little bit tweak was just enough to put him over it.
I believe Jones was juicing the whole time. He doesn't look the same.
He looks huge
Yeah.
compared to.
But he doesn't look the same. He's not dominating guys the same way, like throwing him around in clinches like he was.
Remember when he
guys that he could before, he would fucking annihilate. Those dudes wouldn't even come close. In clinches, he would just toss them around like children.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like those guys they're that much better. Those guys are worse. They're not DC or nothing.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, part of that also, I mean, I hate to defend John Jones, but Machida, Rampage, Shogun, those
Older
were small, older 205ers.
Yeah, I get
when
that.
he started to get up to, like, you know.
He doesn't do as well with guys his height either.
No.
So
That's
it's
why
harder.
Gustafson is.
Yeah.
That was really interesting when he first had issues with him.
Second time he did, no issues.
So
Him and GSP were the best rematch fighters. They
figure you out.
Yeah, that
Smart.
second fight was just not even close.
Did you guys, just finish up the one thing, did you guys see Gary Tonin? My boy Gary Tonin?
he's pretty good.
Just dominate.
He's pretty good.
Just take dude down.
Yeah, I'd like to see
He's
him
got
against.
good wrestling, man.
I'd like to see him against the.
He didn't grapple almost his entire camp.
Yeah.
He had some injury. He couldn't grapple.
I would
Really?
like to see him
Yeah.
against a higher level guy to see.
No, they're bringing him up slow. That's
Yeah.
the right way to do it.
They're doing it right.
you know?
They're doing it right.
His stand-up is still shaky, but, you know.
What about Funky Ben?
Who has zero stand-up?
He's got funky Ben.
Do you
hair.
know they want to? Who's the best wrestler and would be in his weight class right now?
At
Guys,
welterweight?
because Chael, Submission Underground's going to Fight Pass. Chael was going to do a match between Ben Askren and whoever this wrestler is coming out of college right now. The best wrestler wanted to face Ben.
Are you talking about Jordan Burroughs?
Maybe, I don't know. Whoever would have, but they were going to face off in like the best of 7. Whoever, just takedowns.
Yeah.
The best of 7.
That's cool.
That would be
Are they
sweet.
doing it?
Whoever the wrestler was couldn't do it for some other reason. They're going to do it in the future.
That's
though.
cool. I like that.
That's going to be sweet.
I like.
Going to be in the cage though.
I like
be
Ben.
different.
I like Ben a lot. I think he's
Yeah.
fun.
I think Lawler knocked him out and woke him up. That's what I think.
Lawler, for that 30 seconds that he picked him up, slammed him, and just unleashed.
Dude, Lawler's
Dude, he
Lawler,
looked good.
Yeah. So
I mean, dude,
is it
he's a monster
Askren
ground
Macdess?
pound.
Is it Askren Macdessi coming up? Is that the next one?
Askren Masvidal.
Masvidal. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
Masvidal.
fight.
That's a good
That's
fight.
it.
I like that.
Masvidal's underrated.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to be able to hang. I
His
mean,
jiu-jitsu's good, but I mean,
he's not going to be able to. He is
he's
not
not
on.
gonna stop takedowns.
He's not going to be able to stop Lawler's. He's not going to be able to stop Askren's takedown. It's just not going to happen.
Who does at that weight? At 170.
Dude, he got thrown a couple times and won. Like,
Yeah.
straight up Juno throw.
But you know what that happened too? Remember when Chael got thrown by Maya?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Right
Yeah.
to a
Off
triangle.
the cage?
Some bullshit.
I used to do
like,
that all the time.
That was upper body
I
bullshit.
do that shit all the time.
And it worked.
Remember, I would do it. George get yelled at me all the time.
Is that a
Nah.
lat drop?
That drop, I threw it off the cage. I'd run you into the cage. You'd bounce,
And then
and that little bounce, I would just take it.
Yeah, you
'Cause
dirty
if you're a guy
bastard.
like me, or if a guy like me, a guy like Maya, you don't care if you fall to your ass. Like it doesn't bother
yeah,
you.
that's where you want to be anyway.
I was
most
like,
of
oh,
the
so
time.
if you fail, no big deal. You're in
Yeah.
guard. You know.
Yeah, great job.
Speaking
Actually, Maya would be interesting to
of, ooh, yeah.
fight Askren.
See, I
Just-
thought that would
just
be a
for the-
good fight, just for fun. For you see the great
we would love it.
jiu-jitsu versus
We would love it.
wrestling. Fans would hate
The
it.
fans would be booing the
Hate
entire-
it.
They would be like, please stop this now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That Askren's got a weird system up top. He's very. I didn't realize how similar him and
So,
Khabib are.
what's that?
Yeah.
Is it Usman? Is that guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kamar?
The new champ.
Yeah. How do you say? Is it Kamar?
Kamar.
So
Kamaru.
you know the
or
whole Marty
Kamar.
stuff is a legit thing. Like
Yeah,
he
that's
calls
what they
him
call
Marty.
him in college, yeah.
So They're from around the same area. They actually, I think, wrestled together a little bit, a couple of different like times. Worked like same wrestling rooms. And wrestling, like the high level guys, they train together all the time. Like how many different kids were at Lake Catholic when you went there? Like all different
Oh,
types
yeah,
of
they were-
schools.
yeah.
You know, so all these really good guys, they know each other. Like you know that guy and that guy. So his Usman's coach used to call him Marty because he couldn't say his name. So like
So
he'd be like,
bad.
oh, I
That's so
gotta
bad.
wrestle Marty from Nebraska.
Yeah.
So that's like
Yeah, I know. I
That's
heard
like
that story. It's pretty
Askren
funny.
saying, dude, I know who you are. And from what I heard Askren just used to murder him on the mat. But Askren
Yeah.
stuff is Askren is.
Yeah, Askren's
Did he
tough.
win the Olympics? Did he win for?
I don't think he won the Olympics, but
I know he went, right?
yeah, like we're a little bit funky in the United States. Like we do folk style wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
And that's what they do in high school and college. And then freestyle and Greco has completely, not completely, but major different rules.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different style. It's like almost like judo versus jiu-jitsu. Like, hey man, I'm a judo world champ. Why aren't you a jiu-jitsu world champ right away? You know,
Yeah.
but there are some guys who are, but he was super good, man. Super good.
Ask her. I just think he'll run into somebody in the UFC that their takedown defense is good enough, and his stand-up is so bad.
I'm
It's
just-
that
non-existent.
That's
dude.
yeah.
that's the even craziest part is
His stand-up is like on par with your leg kicks.
yeah.
No,
like,
I think his like
It's
I
actually
think
worse.
your kicks are better.
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
that's how good his wrestling is. Like
Yeah, he doesn't
he
need
goes
it.
against. It's not like he just trains with bums, right?
I would like to see what a sparring session between
Like-
him and Pettis and
Like
Woodley
he
looks
doesn't
like.
train with bums.
Oh, he would rape Pettis, but I bet you Woodley
just,
and him be a good
just
scrap.
striking. Yeah. Just
Oh
striking.
no, striking. No, he'd take a beating. He probably
For-
never does his striking.
That's what I mean. For his striking to be that bad still, like at Duke Rufus's place, right?
Yeah, world champion kickboxer, right?
Yeah.
He's like, look, guys, my wrestling's that good, and they're like,
This sucks so bad. Just grinds you down. Ain't shit you can do about it. Nothing.
I love it, Funky Ben, I love it.
That's funny. I like how he talks shit about jiu-jitsu. Then Marcelo just destroyed him. It wasn't even close. Marcelo took him down,
Yeah, Marcel's.
bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I have
You
to watch that.
Look up the video. He talked shit, and then he went and Woodley told him, he's like, dude, Marcelo's gonna whoop your ass. And he went there and he got Marcelo filmed it and whooped his ass bad. And we're talking about a retired,
Yeah.
out of shape
Yeah.
Marcelo Garcia.
That's
That's how good at grappling he is.
speaking
It's
of
just-
retired, out of
crazy.
shape, old people. Brad, you
Brad?
had a pretty damn good month, right?
I've had a hell of a month.
So, guys, if you don't know, we just had King of the Mat 5 over the weekend.
Well, let's start with the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, let's go before that.
I got injured at the Arnold, but I ended up winning my no-gi division. I usually suck in gi, guys. It's just what I do. And then I got my black belt.
Yeah,
Then,
from
like,
Helson.
Huge.
From Helson, right?
So,
and
guys, if
then-
you didn't see that, there's a video of Brad
Video
getting hit
online.
on our Open Mat podcast of Brad getting that.
And then I got the offer from Tim, the King of the Mat, to face Pablo.
So if you guys, Vitor
Like
Oliveira,
a week later.
yeah, Vitor Oliveira and Pablo were supposed to go at it. I think Vitor got hurt at Pans or got hurt.
Yeah,
in-
that's what I heard.
So he got hurt at Pans, and we needed a last-minute replacement. Brad just got his black belt, so they asked Brad, and he
Stepped up.
said
and,
yes, sir.
Yeah. He took
And-
my back with some ninja shit a couple times.
Yeah.
I still don't know how he did it, but
The defense, Brad's defense was
my back defense has usually been pretty damn good. So
that was
the first one was scary.
yeah.
Like he had the choking arm on the bottom. Then I tried to roll through to scrape him off, and then his choking arm was on the top, so I didn't have to worry about it as much, you know. And he actually took his arm out to choke me, then he put it back in, like back under the arm. And then I trapped his arm. I didn't let his arm come out, so now he's only got one arm. And that's how I escaped. But we ended up in overtime, and I beat him in. He did like 40 seconds or something. I need to hold on
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that
so-
last ride.
Went to the third overtime. Brad had to write him out for 44 seconds, and that's what happened. I think what won Brad that those overtime rounds was your back control, which we were just talking
Yeah.
about.
I took like 3 or 4 months and just worked back. Just try to take everybody's back and just control it and choke them.
And Brad's got some guys. If you haven't rolled with Brad or seen some Brad shit, his back shit is pretty good. Like the stuff he taught today blew my mind.
Yeah, you learned all the shit, and I still choked you.
He had to make some shit up. Brad had to make up some new shit,
Nah.
right? So look, guys, Brad. Let's. Here's what happened. My ability to eat chokes and be fat and sloth-like.
I literally did make shit up.
Has
I made shit up for you.
basically, I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for your awesome back control.
Yeah. I mean, the
So
way
basically,
Pablo rolled
because
was,
of me, solely because of me,
Nah.
only because of me, Brad was able to.
well,
to
he
beat
rolled up in a
Pablo.
way that was like the same way you kind of do it, and then I was able to hold him there
So basically, what you're saying is I'm right.
in a way. Yeah.
In a way, I am solely responsible for Brad beating Pablo.
By,
going
by
over.
getting your ass kicked for
Yeah.
so
Take-
long.
So
I'm
mean,
expecting you to have like some great back control the next time. we
he's
do
good at
something now.
like escaping the back for sure.
Actually, that's why I was so pissed off the other day, is because I never. There's been a lot of tough dudes who've been on my back,
You always seem to get out.
and
pretty-
I've never had an issue getting out.
Yeah, you're usually pretty good at getting
And
out.
even before wrestling season, I would purposely give up my back. And what Brad did is he stopped taking my back. He
Yeah,
would-
I gave it up.
He would say no, and I would
just
try
ride?
to I would try to make him take my back, and Brad was like, "Fuck, no, you're not doing it." And then I went to wrestling, and Brad was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna work on the back all the time." And what he did to me the other day, I was a little upset.
Hey, well, just so everybody knows, Pablo's an animal. I couldn't really do much to him in regulation. You know, he just
So-
doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah,
he
what
just
do you-
doesn't do anything to make a mistake.
Do you
know?
think Pablo feels that the rule set, a different rule set,
Help
is,
me.
is
Oh, if
a-
it's points, he probably would have beat me.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's what he grew up in. He's a world champion, you know, for a reason. But
So
he
do you
probably
think
won
he's gonna
most
want
of
a
the points
rematch
with it.
in a different rule set?
I don't know. I thought he'd try to get it fight to win. I guess not. So
So you got a fight to win coming up, right?
yeah, I got John Lawrence from Hurricane.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he got a vast game. He's a little smaller than me weight wise.
Yeah. So you're
He's
going to.
pretty big frame wise. He's not like a little dude. You know?
No, but I think he routinely walks around about 160.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So
So he's strong.
we like
160
John.
though.
We like John.
Yeah, no,
He's a
I
good
like
dude.
John.
It's,
I've been over there trained a couple times. You know, we talked before the Pablo match, and we talked about it. We said we'll probably get matched up. I'm cool with these. Cool with these. Probably asked for the match. I'm down with it.
and I think
Nothing but respect.
no, not and we, like I said, we like John a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm thinking once this happens, probably not till like I would not do this after, but we're gonna over the summer I guarantee we'll have John on this podcast before
yeah,
the end of the year. You
For
know?
sure.
And we'll talk about it. But I think there's things at your game that you can beat John.
Yeah, I can capitalize on it
So,
for sure.
I'm going into this thinking you can win this. You know,
Man, I'll cap my month off if I could beat this guy.
that'd be
Right?
pretty good. That'd be a good month.
Yeah, one
Right?
good month. Yeah.
What did you think of Nikolai saying that you weren't expected to win this match?
I know. You guys talked a lot of shit. Like I have zero hair. I understand I have zero
Oh wait,
hair.
we did say that. That was 100% fact.
No, I get it. I wasn't expected to win that match.
You need new glasses or what? It's right there.
Yeah. I wasn't expected to win that match for sure. If they put odds out, what do you think the odds would have been?
Oh,
Like 2-1?
that would
Might have been.
like 8-1.
Yeah, like something crazy like
10
that.
It's
If
also
people-
short notice too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people were putting odds out, I'm guaranteed I would have been a
So that's what made it
giant
really cool.
underdog.
Actually, Brad made me mess up during commentary because I was
Did you?
well, because I tell everybody, like I even said it during the, I'm like, guys, I'm a little biased. Brad's my buddy. Like that's, you know,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that
Yeah.
ahead of time. But I was like trying to commentate, and I was getting into the match, and Brad, it was in the first overtime, I think. Did you have his back to start?
First one I took Spiderweb.
Okay, so I don't know, whatever happened. I thought Brad was gonna get the submission, and Pablo got out. And I was like,
That was the second one.
yeah, I was like, damn it! I said that on right after Brad escaped.
No, you guys
So-
are making fun of my hair, saying that when Pablo Terry has contact, and he's like, "Is it part of Brad's hair? I don't know. Like he doesn't have any."
That's true.
I heard that.
I remember saying that.
I remember that.
I don't disagree that I said that.
Yeah,
I stand by my commentary,
I understand.
100%.
I'm losing it
Good.
by the second. I
Even if
understand
you're
that.
wrong, stand by it.
I stand by it.
It's not that bad. Really.
Did you go to King of the Mayor?
Yeah, I was there.
What'd
I was
you-
in the.
Yeah,
Back.
I thought I saw you there. How would you think?
That was pretty cool.
What was
Yeah.
your favorite part?
Definitely Brad winning. I loved it. It was an underdog thing. He wasn't expected to win, and the guy is, like you said, a world champion. This is cool to see a storyline like that. And then it was awesome to see Nikolai win. You know,
Yeah.
Nikolai won.
That was pretty cool.
And
And
you know
I
what?
think Nikolai was an underdog too.
He
I
did
think
it in a dominating fashion, though. Like, Nikolai looked
Yeah,
dominating
Nikolai
in the
looked
match.
really,
It wasn't
really
even
good.
close.
He's won we were saying this at practice the other day. He's beaten boxers, he's beaten MMA guys, he's beaten wrestlers. You know, that shows a lot
He's got
for
a
your
vast game,
for your
sure.
skill set. Yeah.
And that's what I told when me and Nikolai interviewed. I said one of the coolest things about Nikolai and his journey through martial arts and stuff like that is that he's been willing to go out of his comfort zone and do things that he doesn't feel comfortable doing. That's made him a better at everything he does. He's not a very confident boxing only boxer, and he went and did a couple boxing matches. He's went up against a pretty decent experienced dude at Fight to Win or at King of the Mat, and did well, and he looked good, you know. So
Yeah, no.
did
He
you
did.
were you at the Dante seminar at Rev?
I was not.
Okay,
No,
so-
I wasn't. I wish I would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would've
Dante
been-
is a monster.
Dante's
bro.
a monster, guys.
He's a bro.
Dante Leon,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
you cannot let him have your back in armbar.
What can you let him do?
Uh,
Please tell me.
The only thing you could do is maybe catch him in 50-50. That guy almost, I wouldn't say he almost did, but it was the only offense anybody had
Did
on
you
him
see
all
that
night.
pass at the end? That pass he had to the finish?
Yeah, that was sick.
That's insanity.
It was kind of like the pass he was showing at the seminar a little bit.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's so good. He's so good.
Out of this world good.
And the coolest thing about King of the Mat is I think this was the deepest bracket we've ever put out there.
Oh, this bracket was
and
sick.
it was, I mean,
The one dude he fought in the finals was like an on it
Yeah,
invitational.
Yeah.
Really
so
good
the finals guys
that
is
guy was really good.
Dante Leon versus I just call him QPR. It's Quentin
Rosen.
Pablo Rosenweg or something.
Yeah.
So he was he was an non-invitational champ at 205. He's a great leg lock dude.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was going to be the finals match, and it was. But on the way, I mean,
Tom the Blast, dude. Whatever the guy's name was. The guy from Tom the Blast.
yeah.
That guy was good.
Shoot.
God, I wish I could remember his name, but that guy was a freaking monster.
That dude was really good. I was really impressed with that guy.
Yeah.
He gave Dante, some work.
Yeah.
David Garmo, man.
Garmo looked good. He took it on short notice too.
David Garmo was a stud.
He's a beast, dude.
And
Who
but
did he
Dante,
go with?
Dante's
Who
already
did he
beat him
go
a couple times.
he ended up getting Dante. So
Did he?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
he beat Tony the first, which Tony took it on short notice. So that was
Yeah, and I mean, Tony's 40. He's 20-something, jacked to the
Jacked.
gills.
and just
Yeah.
good.
Tony had a good grip on that, like, I don't know what the hell you want to call it, like that armbar. And it's
Yeah.
like, all he did was pick
Just-
him up
yeah.
with it. I mean, dude, what a monster. He's
Yeah.
a monster.
So guys, King of the Mat, man, it was super entertaining.
Yeah, go back and watch it.
If you have not seen it, go watch it. It's
The
on YouTube.
lighting was way better. The show was just better this time. It's going to keep growing.
The kids matches were really
The
fun.
kids' matches were sick.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Like those kids went at it. Props to those kids. Probably two of the funnest matches to watch.
Yeah.
Super entertaining. They went out. Those kids went out at it, man. They went at it good.
For sure. Those
They said,
entertaining.
those kids are the future of, their sport, and if they want to go into MMA,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's crazy.
It just wasn't as big when we were growing up. Even when I was younger, jiu-jitsu schools weren't
just
nearly
really-
as
They're
it's just
not
really
like-
cool.
expected.
Now it's insane. Yeah, it's the thing is everybody can do it. Not everybody can do MMA.
Not everybody can
You know,
wrestle. Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody can do it. So, and it's I don't know. It hurts you. Don't get me wrong. You'll get jacked up. I got my elbow hurts. Everything hurts on me. But
You don't have a hip.
Well, it's important though. Like when you're a kid learning and you get hurt, but you're okay. It's like,
Yeah,
I'm not made
exactly.
of glass, and you kind of build some confidence with it.
I just feel like it's just a more of an everyman sport. Like MMA, I love it, and that's gonna keep fans. If you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're gonna be a fan of MMA. You want people. MMA people want people to train jiu-jitsu because they're always going to be watched.
Mhm.
Every jiu-jitsu guy I know watches the UFC. Every single one. So it's good. It's just one feeds off the other,
It's really cool. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So bigger MMA is, the bigger jiu-jitsu is. The bigger jiu-jitsu is, the bigger MMA is. So for me, it's not competing sports at all.
No, they work. They
They're
work together.
coinciding.
Yeah, they totally work together. It's great, man. I like jiu-jitsu.
It wouldn't be here without MMA.
Yeah.
Right? It wouldn't be without the UFC. We wouldn't have it in this country.
So
Not
what,
like
what
this.
else we have happen at King of the Mat? What else was
Interesting super fights.
Oh, Emil's mad at me.
Yeah, Emil's upset with you.
What'd you do?
He thought I was calling him. He thought I was saying I was stalling. I went back and listened to commentary. I don't think I said he was stalling.
Is there stalling in jiu-jitsu?
in
it
this
is
Kingdom
wrestling?
Math, there is.
dude, I got warned
so-
for stalling.
Did you?
Yeah.
But so
I didn't think I was
Emil
stalling,
wasn't
but
stalling,
I
I
watched
just-
the match.
I just I'm not a
considered
I'm not a
stalling.
fan of Emil's style, like aesthetically. I don't think it's I'm a fan of Emil being good. He's really good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's fun to watch, and that's what, like, as a commentator, I'm saying, hey man, this is not fun to watch.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So
Emil has his style, man. It's very effective. He
It is-
pulls you into.
it is very effective.
He's good at pulling you into his game.
And I kind of
you
liken
know?
it to, like, when everybody talked about Anderson Silva back when his heyday, right? Oh, he's in the Matrix. He's on a whole nother level. No, Anderson's a counter striker. He's doing all this stuff to get you to come in at
Yeah.
him, so then he can do what he's good at. But then you look at guys who didn't fall for that, like Weidman and stuff like that. They started showing, hey, there's a blueprint to beat Anderson Silva,
Yeah.
and it's don't get dragged into his game. Don't let him dictate where the fight's going to go. So that's Emil's kind of doing something like that similarly with a jiu-jitsu base, where he's trying to get.
Dude, he's a really
guys-
smart competitor. He knows like all the freaking rules.
He does.
One thing he does, and he's cornered me on a couple matches. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I think I ended up losing him by decision or something like that. But fantastic job with cornering me and stuff.
Yeah,
he's smart as shit on
Yeah,
all the
he is-
rules.
He's not breaking
to
any
get guys in
rules,
the
and that's what
game.
I was
You know.
during the commentary. I was trying to just say, like, Emil is not stalling by rules. It's just not fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, Emil, I don't think you were stalling. I wasn't implying you were stalling. I still don't think it's fun to watch. But I like jiu-jitsu, so I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid of guys who are kind of on the fence. They're not going to like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he won. He what he did is he frustrated Chico Bays to the point that Chico jumped into like 50-50.
No, it was like a leg compression.
Yeah,
Like, terrible.
he tried
idea.
this calf slicer and like
Shit doesn't work.
there's no way that's
Dude,
gonna work.
Emil won't tap to anything unless you're gonna break it off
So,
of him.
Overall, King Matt was great, super great.
Yeah.
I was really happy with everything. Thought everything went well.
It
So
was great.
we're-
Best one yet, I think.
yeah, I think
Especially division-wise, it was insane.
quintet. They're doing a quintet version.
Oh, that's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be fun.
School versus school.
School versus
Ooh.
school.
That's the way
That
to
should be
go.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like Braza versus whatever, you know.
what else?
Does
we
he
got?
have his next one set up?
It's gonna be over summer, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be over the summer.
Over the summer, it's gonna be a quintet version. So
You have to find teams that are big enough. Like, Braza has a couple gyms around here. Maybe Braza SAS would be a great
Yeah.
matchup, I think.
and like you
I think
figure
that's
maybe
a perfect matchup.
maybe since Tony is the ranking instructor at Gracie or at Rev, maybe he'd get a Rev Gracie Orwell team.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty.
How many teams is he gonna do?
I don't
He's
know.
gonna do 3 or 4.
I would
I mean,
assume.
4, obviously.
Yeah, so something like that.
And does it have to be like a combined weight?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
how it,
Yeah.
that's
Have you
kinda
seen
fun.
it? It's like so if let's say me and another guy go and I beat that guy, I stay on. It's like
Mhm.
King of the Mountain.
Oh,
Basically, until you
really?
go through your whole team.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
unless
Pretty
unless
sweet.
it goes to a draw, then they
Yeah.
both get out.
And
and
if
then-
it's a draw, both of you are out.
so
Yeah.
it's a good it's really fun
It's
to
pretty
watch.
sweet.
It's really fun
Yeah.
to
It's
watch.
way funner.
So
It's a really fun way to do it.
what else? We got any Kasai's coming up next week, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next time.
Dante's on that and all that good stuff.
So that's all I got. You got anything?
I think that's it.
So guys, Eric Viper Pozun coming up. Where'd your nickname come from?
My first teacher.
Your
Yeah,
first teacher?
that was-
Sweet.
his name is Mike Cintron. I hope he sees this and he gets like some props because he was a big part of my life growing up. He was pretty important. Like just another dad figure and teaching you everything and kind of taking you under your wing. It was really important. Actually, my last fight I wore my martial arts gi, and I've never done it before. And I don't know, there's like a lot of stuff going on, so it was really important and emotional for me to wear it. I wore it. He gave it to me.
So that's
So
awesome.
that was pretty emotional.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So he gave me that. And he said, "You're tall, but you're really fast."
Sweet. And you know what? It's a good one, right? It's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
one. What do you think of Tooth Fairy for Nikolai? Think we should go Nikolai? His nickname should be Tooth Fairy.
Toothless or Tooth Fairy?
Donnie Walker.
I don't
picked-
have a reaction. To
Donnie Walker said Tooth Fairy, and I was leaning towards Toothless, and I think Donnie wins, man. Tooth Fairy is pretty good.
I'm with it. Anything that makes
Nikolai
Nikolai a
Tooth-
little upset.
Nikolai
I
Tooth
kinda
Fairy
like it,
Gianti,
just
that it
razz him up a little
flows.
bit.
like, I'm just happy he shaved the mustache.
Yeah, that was
Jesus.
terrible.
Yeah, because I would like him to be able to go near like schools and small children
Yeah,
and stuff.
dude, that was terrible.
My dad, he's like 50 something. Even when he pulls off the mustache, I'm just like, why are you doing this?
Mustaches are terrible.
Only
So-
Burt Reynolds. He's
Yeah,
the only
Burt
one that can
Reynolds
do
was
it.
the man.
Yeah.
He's
So,
the only one.
title fight May
Title fight.
18th at Erie Bayfront Convention Center.
Stack card.
Stack card,
Be
guys.
there.
Get
You
out
can
there,
follow
support.
him on Twitter, Instagram, Pozun, right?
Yep. Pozun.
You could probably got some sponsors we want to thank, right?
I do. I got NEO Canine Solutions. Billy is
Ooh,
the best.
Billy helped me get my dog, dude, and such a great dog. Billy is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, he helped. So we know Billy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so Billy's veteran. He's veteran. He has his
Yes.
own business now. He's doing great, man. It's so cool.
It is awesome to watch him.
He's
yeah.
so. It's the cool thing about him is he kind of like he's not training your dog by himself. He's basically training you and your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, he's teaching you how to control your dog and giving your dog, consistent messages and stuff
Mhm.
like that. He does a great job. He does a great job.
I think it's like the passion for it. You can really tell. Like
Yeah.
he
No,
is
he
like,
loves it.
Yeah. That's really cool to watch. So he sponsors me. He's awesome. And then Angelo out at Fitness First.
Fitness First, man. Love Fitness First. If you guys, it's over there by Titans. Those guys are so cool. Good people. The prices are great.
Prices are great.
Um,
You got questions on things. It's
yeah.
like, hey, what is this?
They have plenty of Bang energy drinks, and they have plenty of Quest bars. That's
Is that what you
caffeine.
live off of?
Caffeine
Look at him.
is my life. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't think he lived off of Bangs and Quest bars if the way he looks.
No, more like
Well,
donuts and
well, now
things.
that's an off season. Now that wrestling's over and I'm back.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You need to lose some weight, bro.
Coming for you, Brad.
You did stifle one of my sweeps today, or one of my passes with your fatness.
He's
Yeah.
that heavy.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he seriously did.
Don't question my softness. um,
And then also Rev. Rev is, it's our gym. It's out in Euclid at the NEO Sports Plant. It's awesome. Anybody, any level, come up, come
Dude,
work
guys,
with
it's
us.
it's
We are-
clean.
Yeah.
It's nice equipment, great instructors, great vibe.
It's
Great
seriously
people.
a family atmosphere. We
When-
come in, it is just.
It's a lot easier
yeah.
to show up to work when you're having fun.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really good. So that's awesome.
Come see us.
Come, I will come see it.
You better.
I'm gonna let Eric punch me in the face.
I want to.
And
I want to.
in a fun way.
Yeah.
so
I want to watch. I don't want to be punched
shut
in
up,
the face
Eric.
anymore.
Nobody else should. So that's all we got, guys. So next time we will have probably a lot more talk about what we're gonna talk about Kasai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hopefully fight to
talk
win.
about
and
fight to
all that stuff.
win, guys. We're gonna have, I think, a custom rash guard for Brad.
Yeah, we're gonna have some rash guards.
So if you guys, when you guys see it at Fight to Win, if you're interested, we might have a way to get you some
Yeah.
and some T-shirts too if you guys are interested.
Yeah, it's
so
gonna be pretty sweet.
we got a new logo. So one of our sponsors will probably end up being Reshot Sportswear. So they're gonna hook us up. They're gonna hook us up with a pretty sweet deal on these rash guards. Jacob Panuski over there, Alex Poignard, East Coast. You probably know
Yeah.
Poignard, East Coast Martial Arts, and
Fast
actually,
turnaround, right?
yeah,
We just had one of our buddies trying to get some rash guards, and he couldn't get them
yeah.
from anybody.
Yeah.
This is a fast turnaround.
So we're going to get it hopefully we should get it before April 25th. So Brad's going to debut the Open Mat Podcast Rash Guard at Fight to Win.
Oh yeah.
So if you like
Hopefully
it,
with a win.
it's going to look like a
Absolutely with a win.
Brad didn't
Yeah.
have you seen the new logo
no,
on Facebook?
I haven't seen it.
So if you look on Facebook, Brad did not like it the first one I
The
had.
first one you made. My
Brad was
hairline was
so
here,
old.
like connected to
Brad
my eyebrows.
so Brad looks old in this logo that we have
Yeah.
now. He looked way older in the first one and he was not happy. It was pretty funny. So that's all I got, guys. Brad, you got anything?
That's it.
Eric, thanks for coming out, man. It was super.
Hey, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
I'm glad.
This is sweet.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. That's all we got. Cody Sloth Lewis, no hips, old no hips, and we got Viper. Thanks, guys.
See ya.